Dr. Jane Goodall's legacy lives on in the people whose lives she touched, who were filled with hope by her messages and inspired to take action to protect wildlife and their habitat, the natural worlds. Jane's mission was to inspire hope and transform it into action work she was doing up until her last moments. The Jane Goodall Institute will continue Dr. Goodall's work. We remain steadfast in our commitment to her vision of a science-driven, integrated approach to protecting nature. Through the four main pillars of JGI's work, we are creating a healthy planet where people make compassionate choices to live sustainably and in harmony with each other, other animals, and the environment we share. Jane redefined both science and mankind with her discovery that chimpanzees make and use tools. The continuum of discovery at what became JGI's Gomstream Research Center continues to this day. Jane first arrived in what is now Gom, Tanzania, on July 14, 1960 to study wild chimpanzees. Her subsequent findings challenged scientific norms of the time, demonstrating that these beings have personalities, complex minds, and emotions. Above all, she showed the world that there is not a sharp line dividing us from them. We are part of and not separated from the rest of the animal kingdom. Over 65 years later, Gom remains a living laboratory home to the longest-running wild chimpanzee study in the world. This groundbreaking scientific research has many applications and lessons, including everything from health and zoonotic disease to intergenerational tool use. With new technology like bioacoustics, geographic information systems, and PCR testing opening up new ways of understanding the Gom ecosystem, we continue to explore rich, complex questions about our closest genetic relatives. Safeguarding of risk species through wildlife rehabilitation. Jane believed all animals are sentient beings worthy of our compassion. Today, JGI's Teaching Panda Sanctuary in the Republic of the Congo is setting the standard for wildlife rescue and rehabilitation. Throughout Jane's life, she worked tirelessly to improve animal welfare for every species. Her observations of chimpanzee behavior in the wild shifted public perceptions of animal sentience, and her advocacy even led to the 2017 US ban on federally funded biomedical research on chimpanzees. She also became a voice for the global movement towards plant-based eating for ethical reasons. This ethos drives the work at JGI's Teaching Panda Sanctuary in the Republic of the Congo, which is now one of the largest animal rescue and welfare sanctuaries in Africa. Here, over 150 rescued chimpanzees and many other species receive best-in-class care. This is thanks to the dedication of head veterinarian Dr. Rebecca Aitenshaw and her team, who are equipped to care for almost any Central and Western African species in need, from African grey parrots to pangolins and even a baby gorilla. They created the Chimpanzee Welfare Index to monitor the physical, mental, and emotional well-being of captive chimpanzees, and they have been sharing this approach with other institutions, creating long-term sustainability through community-led conservation. From her earliest days in the forests of western Tanzania, Jane saw that everything is interconnected. You cannot help the natural world without helping local people. This is the insight underlying JGI's TACARE approach to community-led conservation. As Jane learned about the threats facing chimpanzees across Africa, she progressively shifted her focus from field research to advocacy. In 1964, she and JGI launched the Lake Tanganyika Catchment Reforestation and Education TACA project to slow the rapid degradation of natural resources by addressing poverty and supporting sustainable alternative livelihoods in nearby communities. Building on that project's success, its name became JGI's signature community-led conservation approach, TACARE, which is now used in over 100 villages surrounding Gom National Park in western Tanzania. The TACARE approach has helped local communities restore the forests where Jane's research began. Through long-lasting relationships with community members and local governments, we're collaborating on solutions to key conservation threats and expanding this approach to communities around the world. Inspiring the next generation through youth engagement. Most of all, Jane believed in the power of young people to make a positive difference. That's why Jane Goodall's Roots Shoots provides young people with the resources to take action locally. On a sunny day in 1991, a group of students gathered on Jane's front porch in Tanzania to get her advice. They saw the complex issues facing the world and felt overwhelmed. Jane encouraged them to recruit friends and focus on the small and local actions they could take right then and there. Together they created Roots Shoots to support the development of local action projects. Now active in 75 countries and counting, Roots Shoots empowers both the young and the young at heart to live as compassionate citizens. With professional guidance, a network of fellow changemakers, and funding from the Jane Goodall Institute, groups of all kinds are following Jane's advice and starting projects that help people, other animals, and the environment we all share. Jane often said that in addition to her work to expand our understanding of animals, she wanted to be remembered for Roots Shoots. Today and every day, we are reminded of Jane's words: what you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. We at the Jane Goodall Institute know exactly what kind of difference we want to make, and thanks to Jane, we have a plan to get there. To learn more about how you can honor Jane, you can visit janegoodall.org, remembering Jane image credits in order of appearance: Norman Jean Roy, Kristen J. Masha, JGI Stefano Legal, Michael Cox, JGI Fernando Termo, Olaf Domes Aguila, JGI Michael Pandija, JGI Eric Gazetta.